First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming. Thank you for your time and your interest. I run I run this webinar series. We It's called the Leadership Coach Catalyst series, and the intention behind it is to really. My hope is that it ignites your next step in your journey as a professional coach, and whatever that next step might be. So I believe that coaches have the power to support better leaders for a better world. And to get that done, the world needs more coaches, and coaches need more support. Today, the presentation is entitled Certification Unlocked, Demystifying the Coach Certification Process. So I hope what I'm going to share today helps to unlock the potential that's within you and really transform your lives as leadership coaches, because I believe with all my heart that the world really needs you. So let me introduce Patricia. Patricia we call her Trish. She's our Director of Community Services and Client Care, and she's also my right-hand woman. So she's here today to help facilitate the webinar, and she has a huge role here at the Coaching Academy for Leaders because she makes sure that everyone has a seamless experience during their time with us. And I'll introduce the rest of the team and rest of the faculty a little bit later. So this is me. For those of you new to our community, my name is Corey Robertson. I'm a professional certified coach, or PCC for short. And in this presentation, I'll explain what it takes to earn a PCC. I'm also the founder and director of education here at the Coaching Academy for Leaders, where we offer ICF accredited coach training programs. I'm a qualified assessor at the ACC and PCC levels. I'm level 3 certified. I'm a certified coaching supervisor and a certified mentor coach. So in addition to all of the coach training that I have done and all of the certifications and qualifications that I've earned along the way, I also train leadership coaches. My area of expertise include one-on-one coaching, group coaching, team coaching, and inside my coaching programs, I also offer leadership development programs my leadership development programs teach leadership through the coaching method. So whether I'm training for my own coaching qualifications, whether I'm training other leaders to become coaches, coaching other individuals, I have one simple but extremely intentional purpose, and that is to support better leaders for a better world through coaching. So if you have any questions through my presentation today, if you have to leave early, just put them in the chat and I'll answer them at the end, and you can catch it in the replay. Or you can stay until the end. I'll stay after I'm done and answer your questions while you're here. So because you're here, I'm thinking that you're here because you're curious about becoming certified as a coach. And I don't blame you. It's a very, very high demand skill set to have. So over 51% of companies now consider coaching as crucial to their strategy. 73% of clients expect their coaches to be credentialed, and 86% of those surveyed agree that 86% felt they recouped their investment in coaching. So coaching is literally leadership in action, and it works. So that's why the demand for coaches and managers who know how to use coaching as a leadership style is growing. Several times a week, I have calls with people who are interested in becoming a coach. And by the time they get on a call with me, they're convinced that ICF training is really the only way to go. And I agree. But at the onset, people tend to find themselves a little bit demystified by the process. And I admit, I know it can seem like a bit of a puzzle. So today I'm going to break it all down. I'm going to demystify the entire coach training and certification process for the ACC, PCC, and MCC levels. I have good news. I say demystify and clarify and all those things, but It's actually not all that complicated once you zoom out and you see the big picture of how all the steps fit together. But first, before I describe how to do it, I want to talk a little bit about why go through this process. Um, we all know there are lots of very cheap, very easy, very accessible so-called coach training programs on the market. Um, but they're not credible. They're not going to get anyone anywhere other than a cleaned out bank account. So, although there are lots of coach training programs out there, it's, in my opinion, very, very important. It's critical that you look for the ICF standard. So, the ICF offers the gold standard in coaching education, and it's the only globally recognized credential with the largest regulatory body in the coaching industry. An important step in the certification process is to make sure you choose a program that's going to get you a return on investment of your time, energy, and money, whatever that might look like to you. So I really want you to know that ICF accredited programs give you the best return on your investment, and those qualifications and credentials confer an instant credibility to you. Like I was mentioning in those stats before, it's expected. Like organizations, it's your foot in the door for coaching mandates. Without those ICF credentials, they are very unlikely to even consider you as their coach. And so that credibility will open doors and opportunities to cultivate a wonderful career in coaching, whether it's in private practice or whether it's coaching within your organization. And as coaches, we get to see the most beautiful side of people. We really get to see the best of human beings, and those folks who you work with, who you coach, are really, really going to appreciate you. And so it's such a wonderful and rewarding career. So ICF certification is a great investment in your career growth. For example, 83% of organizations plan to increase the scope of managers and leaders using coaching techniques over the next 5 years. In fact, coaching has exploded, providing ample opportunities for you to grow and excel in this wonderful career. With 86% of consumers who experienced a coaching relationship reporting that it was important for their coach to hold a credential, it's clear that becoming a certified coach through an ICF accredited coach education program is crucial. ICF credentialed coaches lead the way with true professionalism and professional status in the industry. Next question. So now a little bit about the why, and now let's talk a little bit about how. How do you become a certified coach? So here at the Coaching Academy for Leaders, we are an accredited international, we are accredited by the ICF, the International Coaching Federation, as a coach education provider. And we've put together this webinar to help you navigate the process based on the questions we most often receive from aspiring coaches joining our program. I have earned my ACC. I've earned my PCC. I have renewed my PCC several times, and now I'm working on my MCC. So I really know the ropes. And in addition to my own experience with it, I also support students here at the Coaching Academy for Leaders in their journeys. So rest assured, what I'm going to share with you is really the most up-to-date information about the journey. So earning your coaching credentials might seem like a daunting at first glance, but I think it can be simplified by looking at it as a two-part process. And I'm sorry, my doggy is running around behind me barking because we have visitors. And hello, doggy. Yes, good boy. So let me break it down into a two-part process. The first part, think of it as the coach training part. Now, before I dive into talking about coach training, I just want to say, if you're tempted to think or hope that your track record is going to allow you to bypass the certification process, it won't. So what I mean by that is no matter how many years of experience you have, no matter how much wisdom you have to share, no matter your past titles or your current titles, your years of experience as a leader, your certifications and your degrees. Those are all great for your career, but we all start our journey as ICF certified coaches in the exact same place, which is the level 1 pathway to the ACC. So if you're tempted, like many people are, if you're tempted to wonder if your experience is going to allow you to bypass the process, the very clear and simple answer is no, it won't. But don't let that discourage you. All of the students here at the Coaching Academy for Leaders are exceptional professionals, many of whom who have advanced degrees, even PhDs. They have many of them have very high level roles, director, vice president, president, company owner, and many of them come from very large and prestigious organizations. So you will find yourself in very, very good company here at the Coaching Academy for Leaders if you're hoping to tap into a network like the one we offer here. So here's a visual representation of the steps you need to take to become a credentialed coach. And I'm going to break this all down. But if you look here at the top left where it says start here, the first step is coach training, then mentor coaching, which is part of coach training, your performance evaluation, which is the conclusion to your coach training and mentor coaching, and your experience log, working on your experience log. So once you have those 4 steps complete, then you apply for your credential through the ICF. Then the ICF is going to invite you to write the coach credentialing exam. You're going to pass that. And then the ICF is going to give you your first credential, which is the ACC. So once you have your ACC, then what's next? Then you continue your training. So here you have 2 pathways. You can renew your credential for 40 hours of additional training, or you can advance your credential for, again, another batch of training. And I'll break that down in a minute when I get to each category. So you renew your credential or you advance your credential, and then you return to training and you go through the steps again. So really you just cycle through those steps for your certification and credentialing pathway. So let's start at the top. Let's talk about the ACC. So ACC stands for Associate Certified Coach, and it's the first credential. And this is a very relevant credential in the field, and it is definitely going to be an important door opener for you if you would like to serve as a professional coach, either internally, you can put this on your CV, or if you're in private practice. So let me talk to you about how to get to your ACC, how to get from there to your PCC, and then how to get from there to your MCC. So the ACC, when you're looking for training, you're looking for something called the level 1 pathway to the ACC. So the level 1 pathway to the ACC, the training part, remember that first thing, is 60 hours of coach-specific training. The next part is completing your mentor coaching program, which is 10 hours. And then you submit a performance evaluation to your educator. And then your educator, the assessor at your school, is at the Coaching Academy for Leaders. It's myself and one of our other faculty members, either or. We listen to your best recording, and then we make sure that you are coaching at the ACC level. So once you've completed these 3 steps, then the school is allowed by the ICF to give you a certificate that says you've completed your level 1 pathway to the ACC. So that's your certificate, that's completing your training. And then the next thing is part 2, which is your credential. So you're still on the level 1 pathway to the ACC. So now you have your certificate that says you have completed your 60 hours of training, you've completed your mentor coaching program, and you have passed your performance evaluation. Next step is to go to the ICF website and open an application. you'll upload, they're going to ask you to upload your certificate. So you're going to give them the certificate that we provide for you. Then they're going to ask you for your log of experience hours. So the log of experience hours is not the same as your training hours. Your experience hours are actually the hours that you complete as a coach out in the field. So at the ACC level, that experience log needs to have 100 hours of experience. Of those 100 hours of experience, a minimum of 75 of those hours have to be hours that you were paid to be the coach, and a maximum of 25 hours are allowed to be pro bono. So you don't have to do pro bono coaching, but you're allowed to do up to 25 hours of pro bono coaching. And then you need a minimum of those 100 hours, you need a minimum of 8 clients. So the good news is, if you're employed, the hours that you're coaching on the job count on your log of paid hours, right? Because you're at work, you're being paid to be there, and you're coaching to support your colleagues to do the best work they can do. So it counts as paid. If you are in already in private practice of some kind, which happens a lot of people will start a coaching practice when they're already a consultant or already a mentor or already a therapist or a trainer of some kind. So if you already have your client base, what you will recognize soon into your coach training is opportunities to coach a client. And you can, as long as you're clear that you're coaching and you have the client's permission to coach them, you can also put those hours on your log. So your log, that 100-hour log, it might seem a bit daunting at first, but it does add up quickly if you're intentional about it. Okay, so ICF website, upload your certificate, upload your experience log, and then they're going to invite you to write the coach credentialing exam, which is a multiple choice exam testing you on your knowledge of the ICF core competencies, behaviors, markers, and ethics and standards. So not to worry, because your level 1 pathway to the ACC training and mentor coaching is going to prepare you for that exam. So as long as you are doing the training, showing up for the classes, doing your assignments, doing your practice work, I don't know anybody. I do not know anybody who has not passed the credentialing exam. I know of one situation where somebody ran out of time. The exam took them a little bit longer than they expected it to. They give you 3 hours to write it. They didn't expect it to be a long exam like that, and they just didn't have time to finish it. So they did it another time. So like I said, your level 1 pathway to the ACC program is going to prepare you to pass your performance evaluation and your credentialing exam. So there you go. You're going to pass that exam, and the ICF is going to give you your ACC. And then you can put that on your CV, you can put that on your website, you can put that on your social profiles. Tag me when you get your ACC, and I will write a comment on your profile congratulating you. The next step, okay, so the next part of the journey, or where to from the ACC, it's the PCC. So PCC stands for Professional Certified Coach. Now, to get your PCC, you do another 65 hours of coach training, because for your PCC, your training requirement is 125 hours. Now, what we can do, what you do have the right to do, is you do have the right to take a course called the Level 2 Pathway to the PCC. Very oftentimes, the Level 2 Pathway to the PCC will include the ACC requirements. And this is if you go that route, that's a very long journey. That's a training course. It's going to take you 125 hours of training alone. Your experience log needs to be 500 hours. You'll pass a performance evaluation at the PCC level, and you'll pass the credentialing exam at the PCC level. The if okay, so if you take the level 2 pathway to the PCC, um, the 10 hours of mentor coaching is included for both the ACC and the PCC. If you want your credential sooner rather than later, I would recommend taking a level 1 pathway to the PCC, because you can always take your add-on hours later. You can always do your 65 hours at another time, and you can continue building your experience log. You can add up those extra 400 hours on your experience log. I personally think it's a great strategy, because you will have an ICF credential in the bank as you work on your PCC. So that's the PCC. So what you can see here, it's basically the same process as the ACC. It's just adding more hours and adding more. It's adding more training hours, and it's adding more experience hours. And it's the same story with the MCC. So MCC stands for Master Certified Coach, and at this level, you need a minimum of 200 hours of coach specific training. You will need another round of mentor coaching. And at this point, your experience log has to be 2,500 hours of coaching, 2,250. Sorry, I thought I heard 2,002. If you wouldn't mind just keeping your microphones on mute, that would be super helpful. 2,250 paid hours on your experience log, with a minimum of 35 clients. So it is a bit of a journey to get to your MCC, but it's literally the exact same pathway you did for the ACC that you did for the PCC, and now you're doing the same routine for the MCC. So you see, it's not really that complicated once you zoom out and you see how the pieces all fit together. So what I have been talking to you about so far is advancing from the ACC to the PCC to the MCC. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You don't have to advance your credentials if you don't want to, or if you're not ready to. You can renew your credential. So your credential has a lifetime of 3 years. During that time, you're going to decide if you want to advance or if you want to renew. So if you want to renew, then so if you're going to renew your ACC, you need an additional 40 hours of accredited coach specific training, and you have to do another 10 hours of mentor coaching. If you want to advance to your PCC, then you would have those extra training hours, 65 hours, and your 500-hour log. If you want to renew your PCC or your MCC, you just need to do the additional 40 hours of coach training. You're not required at the PCC or MCC level to repeat your mentor coaching. Now, that's good. That's good, right? You're not required to redo the mentor coaching, but I'll say I'm working on my MCC now, and in my career, I have done at least 4 rounds of mentor coaching, and I've loved every minute of it, and every minute of it has been time and money well spent. I love it. I think it's very enriching, very rewarding, and it makes me a better coach. So what I'm talking to you about is the minimum to advance or renew. Of course, you're always welcome to do more if you feel it's giving you that professional edge. So that's why to credential, and that's how to credential. So the next piece about the how to credential, I want to talk a little bit about doing your homework, doing your research when you're looking at investing in coach training. It's really important. So, for example, when you're doing your research, look for logos on the educator's website, or their brochures, or their social medias, whatever method they're using to get their name out there. I think it's so important to make sure that they are ICF accredited. So if you are new in the journey, you're looking for this level 1 pathway to the ACC logo associated with the school. We this is copyright, and the ICF gives you permission to use this logo. And the only way to get permission to use that logo is if you go through their vetting process. And believe me, it's not for the faint of heart. When they say that they are the gold standard in coaching education, they make sure they really make sure that before they let you use this logo, that you've earned it and you deserve it, and that you have what it takes to prepare coaches to be professionals. And then this one here, the CCE, that is the Coach Continuing Education logo. So if you want to do your 40 hours for your renewals, that's what you're looking for as your CCEs. And listen, it could be that the website, you might come across an educator that you really like, and it looks extremely promising, but you don't see the logos. It's possible that the logos are buried somewhere, or the website is not as intuitive to navigate as one might like. If it's looking like a great school for you, give them a call. Send them an email. Just ask them to show you the logos. If they're not accredited by the ICF, I would say buyer beware. Really, you will not be getting the ICF standard, and you will not be getting the pathway to the credentials that are unlocking doors and opportunities for coaches. That's it. How do you choose the right coach training program for you? Because there are a lot. There are hundreds of schools on the market that are accredited by the ICF. So that's the first thing for your, things to think, your list to check off is ICF accreditation. There's more to it than that. So there's things to consider, like tuition, access to your training, how the program is delivered, whether it's online, whether it's in person, whether it's a hybrid, what is the niche, is the school teaching coaching competencies through a certain perspective. So these are all things that I think are important to consider. So I want to talk to you a little bit about freedom and flexibility. So we have a lot of rules that we adhere to as educators, but we also have certain things that we are allowed to decide for ourselves. So for example, here at the Coaching Academy for Leaders, we deliver our level 1 training in 2 parts. The first part is the training part, those minimum 60 hours that I was talking about before. We call that coaching fundamentals. Out on the market, you're going to see that called all kinds of things. Fundamentals, boot camp, quick start, intro, all those kinds of terms, they're all accurate. The reason they call them quick start and boot camp and things like that is because it is the fastest way to the credential. If a credential is important to you, it is the fastest, cleanest way. It's taking you to the ACC, and you can always add on later for your PCC and your MCC. But if it's really important to you to have that credential, it's the level 1 pathway to the ACC that's going to get you there. So for us, we offer the training called Coaching Fundamentals, and part 2 for us is the mentor coaching program and the performance evaluation. For us, the mentor coaching program and the performance evaluation is an optional extra. So you can bundle them together, or you can take them separately. And schools have the jurisdiction to do that. Some don't bundle them, some don't offer them separately, some don't offer the mentor coaching program in-house. So why do we do it like this? Why did I make the decision to offer the training separately from the mentor coaching and the performance evaluation? So for me, there's a couple of reasons for this. One of those reasons is that some of our leaders in our program are attending solely because they want to learn coaching as a leadership style. So they're career managers, they're career leaders, And they know, they've heard, and they've oftentimes experienced for themselves how effective coaching is as a communication style, and they want to learn how to do that for their own leadership careers. They don't have the desire or the intention to pursue a full certification or full-on credentials. So I don't think they should be obligated to pay for all that or to put in all that work when it's not of interest to them. They can always change their mind later, right? They can always say, oh, there's way more to this than I thought. And I do think I would like to pursue a certification. Well, no problem. Join a mentor coaching program. No problem. Do your mentor coaching, pass your performance evaluation, add it on at another time. I just feel better about that. So another reason that we offer it separately is so that you can really go at your own pace. You might not be sure that you're going to have the time or the energy or the bandwidth to do the full-on training with the mentor coaching and the performance evaluation. So this way you can space it out. Another reason is because you are not obligated by the ICF to take the mentor coaching program that your school offers you. You are allowed, you are free to take the training with your school of choice and then do your mentor coaching program elsewhere. The only caveat to that is if you take your mentor coaching program outside of your school, they have to be on the mentor coach registry, the ICF mentor coach registry. If they are not on the ICF mentor coach registry, they're not qualified and your mentor coaching won't count. And then you have to do your performance evaluation. At my school, you still have to do your performance evaluation through me, regardless of who you do your mentor coaching program with. That's the general rule. I haven't come across any exceptions to that rule yet, but that's how we have it set up. So I think I've made that point. You might have questions about it, so we can tackle that in the Q&A at the end. The next thing I want to dive a little deeper into is tuition. When you're looking for tuition, you'll see that some tuition seems to be too good to be true, and some tuition seems to be shockingly outrageous. Honestly, if it appears so low that it's too good to be true, I seriously doubt that it's a level 1 pathway to the ACC, because there's a lot required, a lot of education required for you to take part in, a lot of live education, a lot of assessments, those kinds of things. So if looks too good to be true, it probably is. Now, those ones that are incredibly high, it might be fair. It might be fair. There might be a good reason why the tuition is so high. It might include all the training hours you need to go all the way through to your MCC. It might include all the mentor coaching hours you need to go all the way through to your MCC. It might include all of the materials in the course, all of the alumni services, all of the business support services. So before you dismiss it for being too expensive, take a little closer look and see if the tuition is justified. It maybe not, but maybe yes. And then the question would be, do you want to invest? If you want to lock your investment in to one school for that many years? Like I started my first coach training in 2004. I had a baby on my hip and I had another baby on the way. And those babies are now in university. They've moved out and I'm working on my MCC. That's a long journey. Do I want to lock myself in to a journey of over 20 years? I don't think so. So these are things, that's me, that's my journey. Your journey might be different, but these are just things to think about as you're considering comparing apples to apples. So then the next piece I want to ask you to consider is the school's curriculum and the program focus. So off the top, all ICF accredited programs, the level 1, the level 2, the level 3, they all teach the 8 core competencies. So In professional coaching, there are 8 core competencies. Each core competency has several behavioral markers, and they are what they are. It's not like, once you get your ACC and you enroll for your PCC, you get into a secret world of competencies and credentials that no one told you about before, and then another layer of secrets and mysteries revealed to you at the MCC level. No, it's not like that at all. They are what they are, and we just go deeper on learning our understanding of them and our ability to use the coaching competencies in a masterful way. So level 1 pathway to the ACC, no matter what school, no matter how much you paid, no matter how the course is delivered, you are going to get these same 8 core competencies. That being said, the schools are allowed to offer a different focus or teach the lessons through their lens of choice. And what I mean by that is you might find a school that's wanting to attract students who want to specialize in, say, relationship coaching or parenting coaching or health and wellness coaching or spiritual coaching. Here at the Coaching Academy for Leaders, we cater to a clientele that is interested in workplace leadership. So all of our curriculum is really taught through the lens of workplace leadership. And so those who choose us, part of the reason they choose us is because they want to be surrounded by peers. They want to be surrounded by like-minded people who are interested in being the best workplace leaders that they can be. I have had people who have said, Corey, I have spent my life in corporate. I want to be in a different world. I want to learn my coaching skills with artists and spiritual leaders and wellness professionals and naturopaths. Fine, do that. You can still practice as a coach in any niche you want. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is consider the community that you want to be a part of when you're choosing your coach training program. So talking about niches, I do want to say that I'll reiterate, the 8 core competencies are what they are. They're not different for leadership coaching or spiritual coaching or health and wellness coaching or parenting coaching. They don't change. So what that means is you are free to enroll with the school, enroll for the program that suits you right now. The competencies that you're going to learn, as long as it's a level 1 pathway to the ACC, are 100% transferable from industry to industry, field to field, level to level. And you can take, for example, if you're a workplace leader now and you think coaching is a leadership style and coaching within your organization is going to help your career, then wonderful. Take a program like mine, knowing that if in 5 or 10 years from now you want to retire and you want to be a yoga instructor and you want to have retreats on the beach, or you want to be a parenting coach and you want to hold groups and help raise kids, that's fine. You can take your level 1 pathway to the ACC that you took while you were a workplace leader, and you can transfer that into any niche or any career later on. And that's why we say, as coaches, we can coach any person on any topic at any time, because we're not mentoring them from our own experience. We're not training them based on our own knowledge. We're not giving them tips and tricks. And I kind of joke a little bit, if somebody needs tips or tricks, honestly, they can Google tips or tricks, right? Nobody needs a $1,000 a month coach for tips and tricks. That's really we're not in the business of that. That's Google is there for that. So this is why I say enroll for the school that appeals to you now, and you can branch out as you go along in your career. I have been through many many different coach training schools, not because there was anything wrong with a single one of them. It's because I like a variety of learning styles. I like a variety of perspective. I love meeting educators and mentor coaches. So I, for one, have moved around quite a bit in my coaching education, and I think it's made my coaching better because I have moved around. So you're free to do that too. And I know some people are like, oh my God, Corey, if I'm going to move around, it's going to drive me crazy. I'll never be able to focus. I want to lock myself into something that's going to get me to my MCC and beyond. That's great. That's available for you out there as well. Okay. Next thing I want to tackle, next thing I want you to consider and ask you to consider when you're doing your research is being curious about what kind of support is offered to alumni. So all schools are different. All schools differ. The ICF does not require that any school offers any kind of alumni support. I do. I have a really, really robust alumni support program because if you remember, and I've said it a couple of times, the reason the Coaching Academy for Leaders exists and the reason my coaching practice exists is because I'm on a mission to support better leaders for a better world through coaching. To me, that also means supporting the graduates of our school. I really, really want you to succeed. I want you to be out there coaching and building your practice and expanding your circle of influence with your coaching skills. So this is why after you finish your course with us, we have a very, very rich community that you can tap into. So for example, inside the learning portal, we have a free mini course to help remind you. So a lot of the mini course has a lot of the information I'm sharing with you right now, but by the time you get there in a year or two from now, you might have forgotten some of what I'm saying, or some of it might have changed. So we have a mini course inside the portal to help you keep your memory sharp around what's required with the credentialing process. We offer a seat on my bench of coaches to all of our certified leadership coaches. So that means I invite you to join RFPs that I'm a part of. So when I have a client who's looking for one or several coaches, the first place I go to find those coaches is from within our community of graduates. And that exposes you to those paid coaching opportunities. We have a business development program inside of our alumni network called Let's Get Going. We have a coaching culture club for individuals who want to build a coaching culture within their organization. Our graduates, our alumni, and our participants, I offer supervision, coaching supervision. So once a month we have a drop-in call and you can come for supervision if you would like to do that. All of our, not all of our, but many of our alumni activities count for CCEs. Remember I was telling you we need those CCEs to advance or renew our credentials. So a lot of the participation inside our alumni network counts for CCEs. What else do we offer? Seat on my bench. Oh yes. So once you finish our course, so the training, the mentor coaching, and the performance evaluation, then you are a certified leadership coach as designated by the Coaching Academy for Leaders, and that gets you a seat on my bench of coaches. Once you get your ACC, which is designated by the ICF, right? After you get your certification, you submit your experience log, and you pass your credentialing exam that gets you your ACC, then I'll invite you in additionally. So on top of sitting on my bench of coaches, then I will also invite you to be a member of my faculty. And those two, being a member of the faculty is also a paid opportunity if that works out. So bench, faculty, CCEs. Another one of our CCEs is advanced topics in coaching ethics, which is 4 hours of CCE. So when I was talking about advancing or renewing our credentials, CCEs, it's required that CCEs include ethics. So we have an ethics course available for our alumni that is open for purchase for people who are not part of our school. I think that covers pretty much all of our alumni benefits. There might be a few more that I'm missing, but once you are a participant, we send you our participant and alumni newsletter, so you'll never miss any of the opportunities that we're offering. An important question a lot of people ask me is, how long will it take to get my credential? Now that is going to depend on you. So all level 1 pathway to the ACC, the minimum requirement for training is 60 hours, and the school you choose is allowed to pace that out however they see fit. Here at the Coaching Academy for Leaders, it takes about 6 months to finish that course. Then you have to complete your mentor coaching program. Mentor coaching, the ICF rules, it needs to be a minimum of 10 hours over a minimum of 3 months. So you can take your mentor coaching program while you're taking your training program. You're allowed to do that. That might compress a little bit the amount of time it takes. Then it's, how long is it going to take you to finish your experience log? How long is it going to take you to get around to opening your application to the ICF and writing your coach credentialing exam? So there are certain things that the school can help pace you with, but a lot of the how long it takes to get your credential is up to you. How do you begin the process? That's another really important question that I get. So I say, to start the process, do your research. I can't say it enough. I think a lot of people underestimate the coach training experience. They know they're going to go and they're going to learn a communication style. They're going to learn some new things. They're going to unlearn some old things. They're going to develop some habits and some insights. For sure, that's going to happen. But what a lot of people don't anticipate is that coach training in and of itself is a transformational experience. And if you look at it this way, as professional coaches, we're literally in the business of supporting people as they go through their own transformational experience of learning and growth as a human being. We can't hold space as professionals for other people to do that unless we've been through it ourselves. And coach training is truly that life-changing transformational experience. And I have had so many people tell me they did not expect that, but they're so grateful for it. So that's why I think it's so important that you take your time and choose the school that's right for you. Because you want to share that experience with the people that you want to share that with. So do your homework. Narrow it down to, your top 2 or 3 or 4 programs that seem to resonate with you, and then do exactly what you're doing now. A lot of us ICF educators offer these kinds of webinars. We offer coach training one-on-one type webinars. It's very similar to this one that I'm doing now. They offer calls. You can get on a call with somebody from the school. If you want to talk to me, I'm the person who takes these calls and answers these questions. So do that legwork. It's really, really worth it to make sure that you end up investing in a place where you're going to really, truly enjoy that. So who is the Coaching Academy for Leaders for? We would be the right pick for you, or a good choice for you, if you see coaching as a powerful tool for leadership, impact, and long-term career growth. If you want a clear and structured, straightforward path to your ICF certification and credential. If you value practice and feedback and depth and true skill development, not just theory. If you value tapping into a network of like-minded people, and if you're ready to commit to showing up and doing the practice and going through the process, the Coaching Academy for Leaders is likely a good choice for you, a good fit for you. Here, our level 1 pathway to the ACC includes 66.5 hours of ICF accredited coach training. Everybody, all of our participants are offered personalized one-on-one coaching sessions with our faculty members. So everybody gets 3 30-minute sessions. And the reason this is included in your tuition is because I think it's a nice touch for you to experience the coaching style of coaches who have already been where you are now. As as a coach training school, and like I said, I have worked with a lot of training schools and a lot of mentor coaches. I think it's pretty much a shared principle across the board that no school or no mentor coach wants to clone themselves. It's important that you cultivate your own coaching style, your own using your own personality. So with us, you're going to have your lead educator, you're going to have guest faculty members come to your practice round so that you can get a variety of feedback on your coaching skills, and you can actually get your own coaching sessions with a faculty member so that you can experience coaching from people with different coaching styles. We share in our course tools and resources and templates that will help you in your learning and you can embrace in your own coaching practice. And we have Trish here who's taking care of our participants and our alumni to make sure that your experience is seamless and help you navigate becoming a member of our coach bench and a member of our faculty. If you are interested in our program, right now we have our early admission rates that are happening, early enrollment rates until the end of June. End of June, am I telling you the right thing? Yes, until the end of June. We have $1,000 off on tuition, and you can combine that with our bundled rate. So I was saying before that we offer our coach training and our mentor coaching programs separately. For those who want to take them together, the coach training and the bundle, there's $475 off if you choose the bundle. And then you could add that to the early enrollment rate, saving you a total of $1,475. And so if that's fits into your expectations. And if you look, and Trish can put the link in the chat. We do have a blog that we run once a year where we compare the Coaching Academy for Leaders to some other ICF accredited coach training programs that are comparing apples to apples. So 100% online, focusing on leadership development, ICF the ICF pathway, things like that. And then you can sort of compare and contrast these schools with what they're offering and what the tuition is. We used to be a little bit higher than average with regards to our tuition rate. Now, because schools have raised their prices so much, our program is on the lower than average side for now. I'm going to keep it that way for at least 2026. I might have to change the tuition. I might have to adjust my rates like everybody else did for 2027. But for now, these are the rates. So we've got our early admission rate, we've got our bundled rate, and we've got our 2026 rate. I had said before I'd introduce you to the whole team. So this is our administrative team. Stephanie is we have two Stephanies. So Stephanie Allen is our Chief Operating Officer. Stephanie Kafour is our Director of Operations. Trish, you met Trish, she's here. Katrina is our Social Media Manager. Alex is our Web Designer. Ash is our SEO Manager. And Nikki is our Communications Manager. And then people that you're more likely to meet is our faculty. So myself, of course, Kim Miles, Helen Kova, Enza Cinderella, Melanie Briand, Alison March, and Courtney Addy. And except for Kim and Helena, I was the educator and or mentor coach for Enza, Melanie, Allison, and Courtney. So I know exactly how these faculty members were supported in their own training. So if you're still here on the call or you're still listening to the recording and you're thinking this is something you want to pursue, this feels like a good step for you, the next step is really simple. Early enrollment is available. You would just go to our shopping cart and then you would select the cohort that is a good fit for you. So we have 2 cohorts, fall 2026, and 2 cohorts open for winter 2027. The bundle and the early admission rate applies to all 4. So if you're really interested in making sure you get your seat and you want to lock that in, like I said, we're going all the way to winter 2027, and you've got plenty of time. The reason why our early enrollment rate is for so long is because I know that a lot of people will be asking their employer to cover the cost of tuition, and sometimes it takes a while for that request to work its way through the system. So that gives you plenty of time to get the approvals you need. Yeah, so the early enrollment is open until June the 30th, 2026. Of course, I'm going to stay on. I'll answer any questions you might have. And you can always book a one-on-one call with me. So you can find us on LinkedIn. Here's a QR code. You can scan this and join us on LinkedIn. And you could also email us at clientcare@CoreyRobertson.com. So thank you so much. I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us. We will be sending out the replay links for the session tomorrow. So watch your inbox if you want to watch the replay and review the material. The replays are only going to be available till April 30th. So try to watch it before then. If it expires and you still need to talk to me, just like I said, book that call with me. Trish, can you go ahead and pop the email link to book a call with me in the chat so folks can have easy access to that? So I hope that this has been helpful and educational for you. Maybe I'll see some of you in our cohorts this coming fall and winter. I hope this has been inspiring for you. I hope this session has been a catalyst to help you make a decision and join this marvelous profession of professional coaching.